What's going on, Spitfires? Welcome back to another episode of the Spitfire Podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Lemunyon, the Spitfire Coach, coming to you to inspire, light a fire, get you going, spark you up, all those things you need in your life, whether it's at work, at home, or on amazing adventures that we all should be on. As a reminder, if you are not already subscribed, this would be a great time to do it. Whether you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or you want to go to our website, spitfirecoach.com/episode, you can catch up on over 200 episodes. And they're short, sweet, and to the point, so you don't have to invest hours unless you really want to get a nice little boost as you go about your day. Or if you feel so inclined, leave us a review or send it to a friend who you think might find some value. I hope you enjoy this week's episode. So I am breaking my own rule today. I'm breaking my acupuncturist rule for me today, but I don't care. I am a rebel and I must speak and share this with you. I went to the acupuncturist today because this week I was supposed to have jury duty and I've called in 2 days in a row. No cases. So that means nothing on the calendar, open time, but also hubby went back to work on Monday. Kiddo is in daycare and love and life, and that means that I've got nothing but time, which usually means I'm getting into nothing but trouble and spinning my wheels and creating work for myself. But I'm not doing that. And yesterday I decided to clean the whole house, deep clean. I got the Bissell steam cleaner out, clean the couch and the rugs, and it felt good to do it. And today I went and cleared out my baby's closet because she is now almost 14 months old and had all of her 6 to 12 month clothes. And I found a family that goes to daycare that has a 6-month-old, and I'm like, hey, you want some clothes? And they're like, sure. So I packed it up and we're ready to get that out the door. But that's not what today is about. Today, I've been thinking about this topic because it's popped up with my clients. And I am a very avid threader. I'm on Threads a lot. It is my happy place. I love to just dive into people's stories and see what they're up to. And it's my way of processing the news in a really, I don't even know if it's digestible, but from sources that I enjoy hearing it from. So I wasn't going to post it, but then this woman, I don't even know how I got connected to her, but things just come up in your feed. And I decided just to post to her, and she said one of the unexpected outcomes from the postpartum experience for me is a change in vision. I spend so much time looking closely, whether it was nursing, scrolling, just being with another, being close up 24/7, that now my long-range vision needs to be retrained. Anybody else have experience with this or similar? I want to know. And I'm like, are you in my brain? Are you just doing a little surveillance and going into my internal conversation with myself? So I decided to respond. And I think it's just her and I that are interacting on this post right now. But I said, right there with you, had my baby in June of last year and spent all summer caring for my husband who was in and out of the hospital. Now baby is thriving in daycare and hubby is back to work. And I'm like, now what? That after kicking ass and taking names in my business for 10 years, the same drivers and motivations don't work like they used to. And that is the theme that I swear all of my clients are coming to me with, whether it's executive coaching, career coaching, communication coaching, no matter what they're coming in with, it's the same thing. All of the motivators and drivers that used to get them going, that used to inspire them, that kind of thrill of the kill and I'm going to go, 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 they don't work. I mean, they sort of do, but then they sputter out. But it's all kind of we're scratching our heads what is the meaning of this? It feels dull, numb. I said to my acupuncturist today, it feels kind of empty. And I know the work that I do is meaningful. I know it has impact. And she said, well, your story dictates the value. And I'm like, holy shit, it does. I know better. And here I am doing the same shit to myself. But what I realized is I haven't actually sat down and re-examined my values right now. I was crystal clear about who I was, what I wanted to create, the legacy that I was designing, the world that I was stepping into, what I wanted to create pre-baby. And even post-baby, that kind of shifted a bit. But I think that I expected it to have more of a light bulb moment of I'm going to be this ultra nurturing caregiver, not in the caregiver sense of what it actually turned into, because maybe I did actually create that reality. But I was I'm going to, think about women and mothers in the workplace And yeah, I did that a bit, but it's now about something so different. Now I think it's actually really connected to my husband's experience, because my husband, um, listen to the past couple episodes and you'll get caught up to speed. I'm not going to spend time on that today, but my husband prior to this surgery was like superhuman with his athletic ability. This man could run like so flippin' fast. Like, I'm sure it was a 5-minute mile or something. He'll be like, Lauren, like, don't be ridiculous. And I'm like, I don't know. That's like super fast to me. I'm like, if I can get it under 10:30 a mile, I'm like super happy. And multiple miles, woo, there you go. But he loved to run. He loved to climb, loved to lift, like was on a bike all the time. I think there's probably like 5 or 6 bikes in our shed right now, that are just screaming to be ridden right now. But he was always going, and he used that as a way to, burn stress and to use it to think. But he also like was an athlete. He saw himself as an athlete, and literally could not get it was in a hospital bed for 33 out of 42 days. And what the neurologist said is there's something called deconditioning that happens, where when you are in a bed essentially in the ICU for like a week, he has seen people's hearts decrease by 10%. And just imagine what 10% smaller heart can do. Like, I know that was horrible English, but I don't care. Your organs are like adjusting to you being sedentary. You have atrophy happening. Your brain is rewiring. And then you factor in the brain surgery itself that like just removed all hearing. And then you have the stroke, and then you have COVID, and then meningitis and a spinal fluid leak. And it's like, none of that allowed him to move. He couldn't run. He couldn't like get out of a bed and walk more than around the corner in the hospital without somebody like, wanting to hold his arm. He could do it. But everything about what he used to do has changed. And I'm thinking, isn't that the perfect example of people at different chapters of their lives? Our entire identity shifts. Whether that means that we're not a kid anymore, we're then a teenager to, young adult to, midlife to older. Like, there to me seems to be this gap from the point that like we're in the workforce, like right after graduating college, to when we retire, that nobody's really talking about. We're just kind of all like floating around, pretending we got it all together. And we're just like, what am I doing here? What's the meaning of life? Like, we're seeing things in a different lens, like especially now with the strength of the dollar changing, housing prices being all over the place. Like, what we saw as this is what I need to do to be a happy and successful person isn't attainable for a lot of people if you didn't get in early enough. Like, I'm pretty convinced that when I graduated college was like the last time that like getting a good job and getting in was there. Like the next year you were like right up against the Great Recession, and you were on the chopping block, of getting laid off. I don't know how I did it, but I somehow coasted and rode the wave and was able to go from one failing company, into a new company that I had already interviewed with. So I wasn't unemployed for any of it. All that to say is like, I checked all of those boxes. My clients have checked all of the boxes they're supposed to. On paper, they are super successful. They make great livings. They have houses, families. Like, nothing would seem wrong, right? Like, you'd be like, what are you complaining about? And that's exactly like what I felt. I'm like, what do I have to complain about? I have a great life. My husband survived. But at the same point, I'm like, and there's something that's not, like, you can't bite into it. You're missing kind of the nutrient of it. And I realized it's because I haven't recalibrated. My clients are in the process of recalibrating because I realized that was what was happening for them, but I didn't see it in myself until today. Yep. Love how that mirror power works on you. You're lucky that I'm honest with you guys, because I really didn't want to record this, but here we are. That's what it is. Like, it's, and there's almost like this mourning that has to happen. Like, my acupuncturist asked me as I was like, getting poked and about to go into my little meditative sleep, if I was pissed at my husband. And I said, no, why would I be pissed at my husband? Like, he didn't do anything on purpose. And she's like, it's not intentional. I said, you know what? I am pissed about this situation. I am really pissed that I have been knocked off course, that I've allowed myself to get knocked off course, that I am not who I used to be. And it's like underneath the anger is a sadness. There is a grieving of like who I used to be. I am not the person who like can go and schmooze for 17 hours and like get on a plane and like do a power nap and then go to the next and go to the next. I don't operate like that anymore. I don't want to operate like that anymore because honestly, I think I was really unhealthy. But like the high producer is different now. It's more of a thoughtfulness and wanting to really take my time and process. And I'm in these two worlds trying to reconcile where I am on the spectrum of like being intentional and slow and taking my time versus this like urge and desire to want to pick up the pace and like just knock it out. And I think what I need to do is pull it forward and say, okay, what is it that you're trying to create for yourself here? Like, what is this future vision of yourself and how do you look at it? And I think there's been this kind of longing and desire of like an upward maturity for myself, because a lot of my energy was kind of immature. It was reactive. It was like, I got to show you, I got something to prove, because people have always, not always, there have been a lot of people in my career in multiple stages in multiple industries that have essentially like discounted me because of how old they thought I was or what experience they thought I had or didn't have based on what my appearance or what my stature was. And they're completely full of shit and it's their own stuff, but I still took it to heart. I will proudly say that I just got my first 2 gray hairs. Thank you very much this past week. But all that to say, I'm going to be 42 next month. And like to some people, they're like, you're still a baby, blah, blah, blah. I've had a 21-year career. I have been working for 21 years. So for half of my life, I have been working full time. But even prior to that, I've had my own business since the time that I was 12. I have been on the hustle and grind, and I hate those 2 words, but that's exactly what it was. I was grinding myself into a pulp to produce, to prove myself, to go, go, go. And I think in this next phase, this next chapter of my life, is really about like being in this mode of like being present with my family, like really, I think I said my word was savor, and really like savoring the moments I have with them. This summer has really smacked me in the face with like, no time is guaranteed. My baby is walking now. Like she's taking her steps. She doesn't want you to see it. She will back off if you're watching her, but she's doing it. And I know that before I know it, she's going to be in kindergarten and I'm going to be like, where did my child go? And then I'm going to become a cat lady and I don't really care for cats. So that's going to be real awkward for both of us or all of us. But all that to say that if the vision is dull, if the vision is murky and clear, it's probably because we're using an old script. It's probably because we need to re-examine our values. I think just throw the old ones away and start with a new fresh list. And I'm going to actually attach a PDF link with our values list and the Google Doc. Actually, no, I'm not going to do a Google Doc. I'm going to do a PDF fillable one for you so you don't have to create a copy. But I'm going to make that available because I think that this is the starting point. And I used to do this for all my clients, but then I kind of got bored by it. And I was like, yeah, we'll get to your values because that's how discussion happens anyway in coaching sessions. But I think that this is at the start of it, is really re-examining like the values might be the same by word, but the way you identify it might have changed, how it shows up and serves you now, and then also what you want to stretch towards. So I'm going to spend some time re-examining it because a lot of my values are around fun and play. And while that's important, maybe it is more important than I'm giving it stock to. I think I need more fun and play. Yeah, look at me. I'm like trying to like be like, oh, fun and play isn't important. It's like, what are you talking about, Lauren? You are the silliest person ever with your kid. I make about 14 songs a day, and I'm probably going to come out with my new album. It's going to be great. But there you go. See, even in re-examining it, the word may be the same, but the way that it shows up, like I wasn't singing kid songs. I was reading children's books actually 7 years ago, but it changes because your experience changes. Your life events have happened, and how you have dealt with it or not dealt with it is going to impact you, how it's impacted you positively or negatively. All of that should be taken into consideration. And so the more that we can just give ourselves time and space to just try it on and say like, how has this changed for me? How might I style this differently? Like you talk about like this dressing room of values, like it might have used to be, a dress before and now it's turned into a crop top. You can alter it. It's fine. We can shorten it up. We can make it fabulous and make it yours. But I think that this is what it's about. If our life was about achievement or about compensation, about stuff, and we've acquired it, I think that we now have to go deeper. I think we have to go at least 2, 3, 4 levels deeper, and talk about like future legacy. Like, what is life about when you're not here? How are people remembering you? What is the essence of you outside of what you've done? So it's time to shift out of being the doers. We still get a lot done. It's all good. And really examine, who are we being? Who are we becoming? So I'm going to go get to work. I'm going to get this stuff loaded up for you guys and make this word bank available. And if you want to share your values, feel free to post them in the comment section, or you can send them over to me, Lauren at spitfirecoach.com, and y'all keep being awesome.